Hi, Marianne Croce here from Small Biz Vantage and the creator of 3 Day Weekend System. I'm glad to be here each and every week to do these lives, and I call them Auto Shop Success in 15 minutes. And I do these for a couple of reasons. The first reason is for you to take 15 minutes a week and really think of your business from that 30,000 foot view, right? Look at your business from a different vantage, if you will. Most owners do not have the time to do that. So 15 minutes a week is a great investment of your time for your team, your shop, and your customers. The second reason I do this is to give you one action item each and every week. You can make get really big results in your shop from consistent, small, consistent actions. That's really where the magic happens, in the doing. So let's get started. This week, I have a commitment, so I am not live. This is a recording. And I appreciate if you find this valuable, share it. Share it with another shop owner that you think can use the help. I found over the years that this is a very giving group. So thanks again for being here. So I came up with this topic this month, and I've been talking about it a lot. This week, I'm talking about a better calendar will not fix owner role overload. So this month, I've been talking about owner role overload and what happens when the owner becomes the shop's overload capacity, that flow, that overflow. I've shared the different roles that owners cover and how teams can learn to wait for owners' answers. Today, I'm looking at a common response to overload, trying to manage your time better. That's what a lot of owners tell me. And I'm here to let you in on something. A better calendar can help. Time blocking can help. A focused to-do list can help. But none of those tools can improve the work that should not be reaching you in the first place. If you have ever blocked out time to work on the business only to have that time disappear before lunch, put yes in the comments. Your calendar may be showing you a structural problem. You block time to review your financials, develop your team, plan for the business, or work on an important project. Then the shop gets busy. Someone needs an answer. A customer situation is escalated to you. A decision is delayed. A responsibility gets missed, and you step in. The time that you protected disappears because the business is still structured to use you as the backup plan. You may need better time and priority habits, but if the same responsibilities repeatedly interrupt those habits, your calendar is showing you a structural problem. The question is not only, where did my time go? A more useful question is, why did this work reach me? So let's look beneath the interruption. Let's look beneath it. Let's say your service advisor interrupts you because a customer wants something outside of your normal policy. The interruption is the visible problem, but look beneath it. Does the advisor understand the policy? Do they have the authority to make an exception within an agreed limit? Do they know which situations truly require the owner? Are they confident that you will support a reasonable decision? The problem here may not be that you were interrupted. The underlying problem may be unclear decision authority. Here's another example. You repeatedly check whether declined work was followed up on. That's important. The visible problem is that follow-up takes your time, but the underlying problem may be no role clearly owns the outcome. This process may be unclear, or no one may be reviewing whether follow-up even occurred. So when you understand why the work reaches you, you can address the cause instead of repeatedly reorganizing the symptom. Does this sound familiar? When you're diagnosing a vehicle, right? And we have to get to the root cause of the problem. Doing the same thing here. Do not hand off everything at once. I want to give this as a warning label. Don't do this because it will be really frustrating if you do. Make sure when owners recognize how much has accumulated on their plates, they sometimes want to get rid of it immediately, get rid of all of it. They walk into the shop and say, you need to start making more decisions. I can't do everything around here. Then they step away without giving the team enough clarity. That's not delegation. It's abandonment, and the team feels it. The answer is not to hand off everything at once. Choose one reoccurring responsibility that no longer should depend on you and transfer it deliberately. Before you hand it off, 5 things need to be clear. Number 1, who owns the outcome? Start with the role that should own the responsibility. Do not assign it to everyone or the front office or whoever has time. Name the role responsible for making sure the outcome happens. Other people may help, but one role needs to own the result from beginning to end. For example, several people may speak with customers, but the service advisor may own the follow-up on declined work. Clear ownership answers the question, who is responsible for making sure this gets completed? Number 2, what does completed look like? Do not assume that people know what you mean by handle it. Describe the result that you expect. If you are transferring declined work follow-up, does completed work mean a phone call? Does it include documenting the conversation? Is another contact attempt required? Should the next action be scheduled? Follow up with the customer is a task. Contact the customer, document the result, and schedule the next action defines the outcome. The clearer the outcome, the less likely the work will be returned to you unfinished. Number 3, which decisions can they make? Responsibility without authority is a setup for frustration. You may tell someone they own the outcome while still requiring your approval for every decision. When that happens, the task has been removed, but the decision dependency has not. Clarifying which decisions the person can make independently. That's key. Can they reschedule the work? Can they approve small adjustments? Can they offer an agreed customer care solution? Can they reorder a part without asking you? The specific authority will depend on the role and the person's experience. But if they have no authority, you have not truly transferred ownership. Number 4, When should they involve you? Empowerment does not mean the owner never becomes involved. The person needs to know when situations exceed their authority, their experience, and their agreed boundaries. Instead of saying, come to me if you have a problem, define the situation that requires escalation. That might include a decision above a certain dollar amount, a safety concern, a legal issue, or a situation outside of the shop's policies. Clear escalation boundaries prevent two problems. They stop every small issue from reaching you, and they reduce the risk of serious issues being handled without appropriate leadership. Lastly, number 5, how will you review this result? Transferring ownership does not mean handing something off and hoping for the best. Agree on how and when the result will be reviewed. Will you check it during a weekly meeting? Review a report, look at a specific number, discuss exceptions rather than every transaction. The review should create accountability without turning you back into the person who remembers, reminds, and rescues. You don't want to do that. And you don't want your team to feel like you're turning your back on them and you're just hoping for the best. So you really want to check the outcome, not take responsibility back. That's what's key here. Expect a learning period. This does not automatically mean a handoff has failed, okay? Because it may be a challenge. They wouldn't do it exactly like you did. So don't assume that just because that happened, it failed. Ask whether the outcome met the agreed standard. If it didn't, determine what's missing. Was the expectation unclear? Was more training needed? Did the person lack information, authority, or resources? Did they understand the expectation and fail to follow through? Those are different problems and they require different leadership responses. So if you immediately take the responsibility back, you restore the old pattern. The team learns that ownership is temporary and that the owner will eventually resume control. Instead, use the result to improve clarity, capacity, and accountability. So your action for this week, before the week ends, choose one reoccurring responsibility that should not require you. Write it down. Who should own the outcome? What does completed look like? Which decisions can that person make? When should they involve you? And how will you review that result? Then have the conversation. You do not need to redesign your entire shop this week. You need to stop treating one reoccurring gap as if it's just simply part of being an owner. That is false. A stronger business is not built by finding more ways for the owner to carry everything. It is built by making sure responsibilities have the right owner. Your shop runs, you lead. If this sounds familiar, take the free owner overload check. There's a QR code on the screen. It can help you identify whether financial uncertainty, owner role overload, or decision dependency is keeping your shop too dependent on you. So thank you, my friends. That is it this week for Auto Shop Success. I'm glad that you were here. This is a recording. If you find it valuable, please share it with another owner because, again, this is a very giving group. Have an enjoyable week.